City nonprofits and the people behind them. Casey Cares is the intersection of the nonprofit and profit communities, making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. This Casey Cares segment is brought to you by the Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation, www.kaufman.org. I'm Ruth Baum-Biggis. There are many players in the financial industry focused on insurance and wealth management. One of the largest players in the United States is IMA Financial Group. Employee-owned, IMA has more than 1,800 associates, including offices here in Kansas City. So what does this have to do with the nonprofit sector? IMA also gives back to the communities it's located in, here in Kansas City as well, through its foundation. Patrick Lanning, president of the Kansas City office, joins us to chat about the charitable work and its impact right here in our hometown. Patrick, it's so great to have you with us.
It's great to be here too, Ruth. Thanks.
Well, let's give everybody a little briefing, a little bit more about the company and any history that you can share with us and our audience.
Sure. You said it well. IMA is a financial insurance brokerage who, every day we bring solutions to our clients to manage their risk and help them reach their operational goals. We started in Wichita in 1973 and expanded our footprint since then. And now we're in 18 different markets and we have 1,800 employees. And you stated it well. We're employee owned. That's pretty unique in our business.
That's an interesting aspect of it. We could dive into that more, but you're a home state company. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's really cool. One of our big core values is our communities that we work in. And that's why we're here today really is how do we give back and support our communities where we office and have employees working. So back in the early ages or early steps of our company, our founders started IMA Foundation. And it was really to support what I just stated is how can we give back to our communities that we work in? And we decided to set up a foundation where we could help give a platform for our associates to do that and also make it part of our business strategy as we scale our company. So
how do you make that part of business strategy? I mean, you're a company, you are trying to earn, you've got lots of people with skin in the game. How does that play into, the business side of things?
Well, it plays in. It's very important. We're in our communities every day, helping our local businesses thrive, and there's a lot of things that go into that. So if we're visible into the community, we're hitting our operational goals, but we're also assisting the business that operate in our local communities, and then giving back and our associates. That's like I said earlier, it's a core value. We make it part of our business strategy every year. It's a big segment of it. How do we enhance our communities? What can we do? And that's really the basis of it.
How does the foundation work? You're in several different cities. So tell us about that. I mean, you've got lots of different offices and people in different places. So how do you make that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. The foundation works is a separate company, if you think of it that way, that helps support our local operations. But the foundation is here to help us support the local nonprofits in the areas. We all have annual events each year to raise money for our local markets. Here in Kansas City, we'll have the IMA Foundation Pickleball Tournament. It's the 4th annual. But what we try to do, Ruth, is we try to raise money that we can give back to our local markets. And the foundation came up with 3 pillars. We want to try to advance the youth, advance education, and then advance arts and culture within the communities that we work in. So we have several ways that we can do that. One way is raising money through the annual pickleball tournament. And then the other is we give grants, or there's 2 grant offerings that local non-for-profits can submit applications into, and then we go through those and we try to align, like I said, in those 3 buckets if we can.
All right, you're busy. You're running this local office. How many folks do we have here in Kansas City?
There's currently 125 associates.
You're busy.
Yes.
How do you then make time and to do those very things? For example, you're doing a pickleball tournament. Events are a lot to do and very time consuming. So how does that play?
Well, it's an opportunity for our associates to really get into that core value of supporting your community. And our associates are all in. They help. We have committees that set that up, and it's a team effort. But it's something that's worth it for us because all of our people buy into that because it is a core value. We believe in it, and our associates believe in it. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun because all that hard work really drives what we're trying to achieve and giving money back to our community and helping non-for-profits within our community.
So I'm going to dive a little deeper into your event. So 4 years ago, pre-pandemic, right?
Yep.
You decided to do an event. I mean, how did you land on pickleball?
Well, at that time, like I said earlier, each market kind of has their own event, and we have our Denver office, for example, does a ping pong event. Our Dallas and Wichita office, we're doing sand volleyball events. So we were fortunate enough here in Kansas City that a local business, Chicken and the Pickle, had just launched, and it was perfect timing, to be honest. So we teamed up with them, and we went and presented what we're trying to accomplish and achieve within our community, and they helped us kind of build this tournament. And pickleball, like I said, was just launching here in the Kansas City market. So that's how we came to this.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I mentioned pandemic. So what happened in those 2-ish years where things were just really wonky at best?
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to do our event in 2020. We were able to do it last year. We kind of moved it in a different part of the year just so we could have it. But the year that we didn't have it, it was really interesting how we all kind of rallied, and in our support, our business partners still were able to give dollars, and we were still able to put money back in our community for the non-for-profits that are here in Kansas City, just with not having the fun that we have when we have the tournament. But we still achieved some great things in that year off.
Can you tell us a little bit about the nonprofits that you choose to support?
Sure. Since we kicked this off 5 years ago, we teamed up with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Kansas City, and they're the main beneficiary of all the funds or proceeds that are raised from this event. And the remaining proceeds will go back to the local non-for-profits here in Kansas City. And it really goes back to that grant process. Again, it's 2 times a year. The non-for-profits are able to submit an application in for a grant. We review those grants, and we try to align it, again, like I said earlier, with those 3 core buckets that were our pillars that we're trying to advance. It's education, it's the youth, and we can see the youth, and then advancing arts and culture within the Kansas City community.
How did you come to Big Brothers and Big Sisters?
Big Brothers and Big Sisters is one that there's a lot of our associates that are very involved, including myself. And it kind of hits all those buckets for us in the foundation, and it was a kind of a perfect fit in our view here in Kansas City.
Well, feel free to tell us how you're involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah, I try to spend as much my time helping them out with their events. We support all of their fundraising events throughout the year. We attend all those and just trying to be active and trying to drive what they're trying to achieve within the Kansas City market. We have several associates that are bigs, so that's fun to see. And I think a lot of that growth with Big Brothers and Sisters really stems from this event that we're having.
How great. Now, have you ever been a big?
I have not.
Well, you don't have time.
I have 5 kids, and then so
5 kids. You are a big. You're a big to 5 kids.
I'm a big to 5 kids. But no, it's a great organization, and we just align their values, align with what the IMA Foundation is trying to achieve, and it's been a good partnership over the years.
You had mentioned the grant opportunities. What time of year do you offer that, and where is the best place for folks to go find out?
Yeah, it's usually it's fall, and then the next one is going to be in the spring of 23. The easiest way to do that, to put a request in for a grant, is visit our website. It's imacorp.com/community/IMA Foundation.
And we'll have that information for folks if they want to go to our Facebook page. We'll post it there. So if you missed it, you didn't miss it. We'll have it there for you. Any stories that pop out in your mind of impact? So many times people want to know, great that I played pickleball. Great, I was able to help. Tell me how my dollars made a difference.
Yeah, I don't know all the stats off the top of my head, but some of the reports that we get back from Big Brothers and Sisters, the last 4 years, we've been able to give them a check of $25,000 from this event. And that the value that they get from that $25,000 really blows my mind, and what it does for some of those individual kids that need really basic stuff, and then really just normal basic attention. We're giving them, we're supporting that $25,000 goes a long way with the number of kids. I can't recall exactly the number of kids, but it's a bigger number than anyone would ever think.
Well, I know that your foundation overall is able to touch more than 250 nonprofit organizations coast to coast. In 2021, you gave out more than $65,000 to organizations in Kansas City. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And that comes from this event, but then there's other opportunities for our associates during the year where we can, that they can give back to our communities. We track our associates' volunteer hours. I think in 21, we had more than 7,500 hours that were done or volunteered in the Kansas City community. Our IMA associates, they support various non-for-profits in our community, and we have a matching program. So we'll match every dollar that they're doing. And I think in 21, that was north of $250,000. So we were able to support our associates and what they feel is, important to them. And we have that support where they think they're making an impact in our community. So you add all those together, and that's how you come up with that big number.
That's an amazing number. Congratulations to you and to the community that benefits from that.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun, but it's fun just to be part of a group that really is passionate about their community, but more important, making a difference.
What are like some of the other things that you do during the year as not necessarily the big events, but kind of what I would call the one-offs or the nice opportunities that are easy to do?
Yeah, the one that comes to mind that's really cool, it's an IMA Corp function or event. Each year we pick a day, one day of the year, and we call it I Make a Difference Day. And every associate across the country, so in each market, we identify a non-for-profit that we're going to support that day, and we go and volunteer hours, a whole day of just volunteering. So for instance, Kansas City went down to the Phoenix group and helped them with their facilities, painting, landscaping, things like that. But it happens usually at the end of May, but that last day or that day in May or April, all the associates, all 1,800 associates are giving back to their local communities by volunteering their day to different non-for-profits across the country.
That is really cool. So how do you decide here in Kansas City who you're going to help?
We have a committee, we call them difference makers. So we have a difference maker committee, and we try to support the people that have submitted for grants, or whether we gave them a grant or not, trying to give, touch as many as we can. So that's one way. And then we have clients that are non-for-profit organizations that fit in to the pillars as well. So we'll consider those too. We've supported non-for-profit events like Alpha Point, Habitat for Humanity, Happy Bottoms, just helping them get their event going and being a big sponsor. So there's several things that we do on throughout the year that is totally supporting the community.
That's great. So you roll up your sleeves, you get your hands dirty.
We do. We're all in. So it is part of our culture. I said it at the beginning, it is a core value of ours, and our people live it and breathe it. And I think the results are proof.
We're talking with Patrick Lanning. He's president of the IMA Financial Group here in Kansas City, but we're talking about the foundation and the work it's doing right here in Kansas City. Your journey to IMA, how did you get to this great employee-owned company that's doing all this tremendous stuff in our community?
How did I come to IMA? I've been here since 2007. So I was one of the first employees here in Kansas City in 2007. And a lot of the reason why I came to IMA is their culture, the employee ownership, just what we're made of, the core values. It's a unique place. And a lot of people can say that they do a lot of things. We say it and we do it. And that's the difference.
That's great. When we talk with nonprofit leaders, you're a business leader, and I would say nonprofit as well, it's always interesting to know where that desire to give back, where was that born for you? Where did that come from?
I think it goes back to the way you're raised. I come from a family of 11 kids, and grew up in the Catholic schools, and that was kind of part of our growing up was, you got to give back to people that's part of being a good person, and your community is important, and you should support your community and make it the best you can, and don't turn your back. Be there for support, and it's the golden rule, right? Treat people like you want to be treated, and help people when they need help is kind of how I grew up, and that's how I've been taught personally.
I got to ask, where were you in the pecking order of 11?
I'm number 5, right in the middle.
Very cool. I wanted to know what you hear back from Big Brothers and Big Sisters, your main organization that you support. What's kind of the input you get back from them as to what you're able to donate and how you're able to support?
Just, they come in, they'll bring their group in and do kind of a state of their company and the impact that we did. But quite honestly, what I get from it personally is the events they have throughout the year. Just seeing some of these young kids smile and get to meet some of them is kind of what does it to me. Is you really do see those dollars going to and making a true impact. But Big Brothers and Big Sisters really does it. We're supporting them, but they're actually taking that support and making great things happen. But I don't know if you've ever seen one of the bigs or one of the littles, or met any of the littles. Their smiles kind of do it for me.
We have a good friend who was a big for many, many years. And so every time we'd get together as something social, he'd always have his little there so that they, got to experience life, maybe different activities, different things. Then we're outside of his, wheelhouse.
Right.
And what a strong relationship. I think they're still in connection. I would bet his little is probably mid-20s, maybe 30. So
it's some of the stories will make you think, you think you're having a bad day, but it's not that bad.
right.
Those kids, they just need a little bit to make them have a good day. And that's what it's all about.
What kind of challenges do you face having a foundation or trying to do these things in the community? I mean, there's lots of need, but from your end, what are the challenges for you?
Probably just the time. I mean, making time is really the biggest challenge, but we've been pretty lucky, really. It's just, again, our associates here amaze me every day about how they give back and want to give back. We're not making them. It's just, it happens. So it truly does amaze me. But I would say time for me personally is, when can we do it in, alignment? When does the non-for-profit need help? Does that fit schedules and calendars? Unfortunately, that's the biggest challenge.
You need that extra hour in the day, that 25th hour of the day, right?
Yeah, or maybe 2 extra.
Well, if you figure out how to do that, let us know. We'll be
Yeah.
happy to share that with everyone.
Yeah.
The pandemic we talked about and the challenges that gave you, that's incredible that folks still gave that support. We were hearing that from a lot of nonprofits. Now that we're in, I call it pandemic phase 2, possibly.
Yeah.
What are you seeing down the road, and how the foundation may work with the community in that kind of a post era?
I think we believe that it's going to get back to some type of normalcy. I would like to think, as we scale here in Kansas City and become a bigger operation, and expand and grow, that our foundation and our support for Kansas City will scale at the same rate. So I guess I don't see us changing much, but really just growing in what we're doing and making a bigger impact. More dollars as we grow. We want to make more dollars back into the community. Is my vision.
As a business leader, what advice would you give to others in the community who run companies, whether employee owned or not, about engaging with the community?
One thing I think it's important, not just for the community, but for your business culture. I would recommend people consider making it part of their business model. It should be a strategy. It should matter. Because at the end of the day, if your community is struggling, your chances of your business thriving will probably be impacted as well. And your local economy is important for your success. So that in a nutshell is really why it should be part of every business in my mind. But taking care of your community, good things typically happen for all businesses.
Any suggestions on where someone should start to do that? Let's say a company says, yes, we embrace this. We want to do this. Go. Where do we go?
Well, one, try to figure out what you have energy or your interest in. There's a lot of different types of nonprofits, but what do you really care about? Because there's plenty out there that need help and support. So find something that you can really get behind and have a lot of energy doing it, and want to make an impact. I would probably suggest reaching out to like an IMA. I would be happy to meet with any business that would like to try to form a foundation. I can connect them with our people that helped us. But the first thing is really try to make it part of your culture, and then have energy behind it and make sure you execute what you're saying.
Walk the walk, or is it walk the talk? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you say it, do it.
You got to do it. If you're going to say it, you got to do it. But if you're going to say it, you better do it because you really want to do it too. So.
Why a foundation? Why did you all go that route as opposed to just, from the company?
Our founders did it. I think it was just a way to kind of have a separation. Again, it was probably the easiest way to make it part of our business strategy. We're trying to give so much of our earnings back to the foundation so we can put it back into our community. So just having that separation and consistency maybe on how we were going to do it across the different markets as we grew our company across the country.
And you are in how many marketplaces now?
Oh gosh.
It's a test.
It is a test. Just recently, we're from Pasadena to New York City. So there's 18 main markets, and then we have several, what I would call satellite markets, but there's 18 core markets now. And
you're all engaged in each of those markets with whatever chosen nonprofits aligning with your pillars.
Correct.
Do you ever get into competition between the marketplaces?
Oh, yeah.
And who can raise the most money for a nonprofit?
Oh yeah, that's healthy competition though.
And
it is fun to see what the other markets are doing, and some of the numbers that are generated. Well, it blows your mind, but we're always trying to make it better than the others, and we're always trying to make our event better than what we had the year before. But as we grow our company here in Kansas City and our numbers of our associates, like I said earlier, those funds should increase as well at the same rate.
Any incentives between the markets? Like, if this market raises the most money, they get an extra half day off.
I'm sure there's some of that, but nothing. No, I don't think that's a good idea though. Maybe. Yeah.
It's just a half day.
Yeah.
Or a day. I'll go for the employees.
Yeah, let's do a day.
Or, maybe percentage of dollars available, whatever. It just sounds like it would be a fun thing for the company to do and challenge each other. So I gave you a McNugget.
There you go. I appreciate that. We'll have to run with that one.
You're doing amazing work here in Kansas City. You're raising incredible funds. It's the IMA Financial Group, but it's their foundation. You can go to their website, and kudos to your website, folks, because it was easy to find.
Great.
And I really appreciated that. So it's imacorp.com, and then just /community /IMA-foundation /. Man, what did we do before the /?
I don't know.
Congratulations to you, Patrick. Thank you for spending the time and sharing everything that you're doing and providing some of those great tips.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for joining us for KC Cares, Kansas City's nonprofit voice. We're produced by Charitable Communications, also a nonprofit. This KC Cares segment was brought to you by the Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation, www.kaufman.org. To be a guest on KC Cares or underwriting opportunities, please visit our website, kccaresonline.org, and spread the love. You'll find us on Facebook and Twitter at KC Cares Radio and on Instagram at KC Cares Online. Catch us Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. on ESPN 1510 AM and 94.5 FM. Thank you for joining us on KC Cares.